So today we are going to discuss about secondary indices. So in the last class, we have started discussing ordered indices, in which we define two categories, primary index and secondary index. So if we are having a sequentially ordered file, then the primary index also defines the same order, that of the sequential order of the file. Say for example, if we are having instructor table with 4 attributes, ID, name, department name and salary. If my instructor table is ordered according to the attribute, say name of the instructor, right? So instructor relation is ordered according to this attribute name, and if I am having the index that is also created based on the same attribute name, then I'll say that this index is the primary index. Correct? But now today we are going to discuss secondary index. So what happens in secondary index? In secondary index, if my instructor relation is ordered according to this attribute name, and if I am creating the index on some other attribute, say ID, then that index is known as the secondary index. Right? So order in which my instructor relation is ordered and the order in which I am creating the index, two are different, then it is secondary. If both are same, both ordering is same, then it is primary index. Right? Further, we have seen the dense index and the sparse index.
Value.
Yes. So if I am having dense index, what it indicates? It indicates that I am having the index for every search key value. So every search key value appears in index. Then it is called as dense index. What about sparse index? Yes. What about sparse index?
In sparse index, every search key value is not present in the index, but only few search key values are present.
Correct. So we are having only few search key values present in the index. Then it is known as sparse index. Every search key value is not there in the index. Right? So such kind of index is known as sparse index. We have seen the difference or advantages and disadvantages of these kinds of indices, dense index and sparse index. Right? Then further we discussed multi-level index. So in multi-level index, we are having multiple levels of indices. And the reason why we are having multi-level index is the index file itself is too large. So if my index file itself is too large, then it cannot be accommodated in my main memory. Right? And if I want to have efficient access to the records, then what I can do is, even though this is the index file, I'll treat this index file as my data file, and I'll create index on my index file. So in multi-level index, what I will do is I'll create index on my index file. Right? Once again, if I'm creating this index on my index file, it may happen that this newly created index is also too big. So I may add one more level of indices. And this is how we are building the multi-level index. Right? So we have seen inner index and outer index. Two terms in case of multi-level index. So outer index is always a sparse index. And typically in outer index, what we do is we are having one index record per block. Right? So we have seen this multi-level indexing in detail in the last class. What else we discussed? We discussed how to update index files with respect to the insertion operation and deletion operation. So these two are the important operations those we perform on our files. So many times we need to insert the data in file. Many times we need to delete the data from the file. So with respect to the insertion and deletion operations, we also need to update our index files. So while updating those index files, we also need to consider where our index is dense index or whether our index is sparse index. So depending on the type of the index, we need to perform several tasks while updating our index files. So we have gone through all those details. Right? Now, today we are going to focus upon the secondary index. So an index whose search key specifies an order different from the sequential order of the file is known as secondary index. I'll repeat. An index whose search key specifies an order different from the sequential order of the file. Such kind of index is known as secondary index. And the other name for secondary index is non-clustering index. For primary index, the other name is clustering index. Whereas for secondary index, we are having another name that is non-clustering index. Right? Now let us see one few important points related to secondary indices and the example also. Many times it happens that we want to find all the records whose values in a certain field, which is not a search key of primary index, satisfy some condition. I'll repeat, many times we need to find the records whose values in certain attributes, which is not a search key of primary index, but still we need to use that attribute satisfying some condition. For example, suppose in our instructor relation, which is stored sequentially according to ID of the instructor, we may want to find out all instructors in particular department. What I'm saying, I'm having instructor relation, right? And this instructor relation is stored sequentially as per ID of the instructor. So obviously, primary index for this instructor table must be based on this attribute ID. So search key for primary index is obviously ID. Why? Because the relation is stored according to the sorted order of ID. Right? But in this scenario, we may need to find all instructors in a particular department. So department name is the attribute which is other than the search key of my primary index. So here my primary index is based on ID and I want to extract the data with respect to all the instructors in a particular department. So I want to use another attribute, that is department name, right, to extract the relevant data. So search key of my primary index is different and the attribute that I want to refer for extracting the data is different. So in such situations, we may go with a secondary index on department name. Right? One more example, the similar example, but even though the instructor data is ordered according to ID, we are supposed to find out the instructors with specified salary or the range of salaries. So once again, my primary index is based on ID. That means the order of my instructor table is based on ID and I want to extract the data with respect to some other attribute and that is salary. So I want to pick only the instructors having specific salary or the range of salaries. So once again, the primary index search key is different than the attribute that I want to refer, that is salary. So in this situation, what I can do is I can create index, secondary index on the attribute salary. Got it? Any doubts so far?
No, ma'am.
Right. So whenever we talk about secondary index, we should have the secondary index with index record for each search key value. So please remember, I have highlighted this point. Secondary index must be dense. So if we are creating the secondary index, it should be dense index. Are you getting me? Secondary index must be dense index. Why? Because if I'm having a sparse index, my condition is I should have the data ordered according to the same search key value. But here my secondary index attribute is different than actual ordering of my relation. And that is why I need to use every search key value in my index. So secondary index must be dense always. So all the search key values must be present in my secondary index. Right? Further, index record points to a bucket that contains the pointers to all the actual records with that particular search key value. So let us see this with one example. So see here, we are having the secondary index on attribute salary of instructor table. So this is our instructor table. And we are having the attributes like ID, name, department name and salary. Right? Now, please see here, this instructor relation is ordered according to ID. So, instructor relation is stored sequentially according to this attribute ID. So, you may observe here the increasing order of IDs. Right? So, if I would have created a primary index for this relation instructor, then my primary index must be having the search key as ID. Right, for this relation. Now, we are talking about the secondary index. That means I would like to have index on the search key other than this ID. So let us assume here that we would like to create secondary index on the attribute say salary. So whichever are the unique values of salaries, we should have all those search keys present in my index. So as I stated, secondary index is dense and the attribute on which we have created this secondary index is salary. So whichever are the different salary values, all those search values appear in my secondary, right? And that too order, right? So I'm having 40,000 is salary, then I'm having another value that is 1,000, then 60,000. So all those different search key values are present in my secondary index, and my secondary index includes all search key values. So it is dense. Now, as I stated earlier, obviously as this is the index, I am having here the search key value along with a pointer that points to a bucket now. So bucket is nothing but a block where we are storing something. So here in this bucket we are storing the pointers pointing to the records for the same search key. What does this mean? See here, for this value, search key value 40,000, I am having here a pointer that is pointing to this bucket. And in this bucket, actually, as I am having a single record with this salary 40,000, I am having in this bucket a single pointer that is pointing to the record having the salary 40,000. This is simply one example. In fact, I may have many number of records having this salary value 40,000. So all such pointers will be stored in this bucket, for which the salary value is 40,000. See this example with the search key value 80,000. So along with this search key value 80,000, I am having associated this pointer, and this pointer is taking me to one bucket, and in this bucket I am having two pointers. Why? Because I am having two records. Those are having the salary equal to 80,000. Right? So in my secondary index, I will have the search key value and the pointer is pointing to the bucket where I am having the pointers to the records for the same search key value. And it may happen that I am having many records having the same search key value, and that is why I am having many pointers in my bucket. Those are pointing to the records having the same search key value. Right? So this is how we may represent the secondary index. I hope you must have understood the concept. Is there any doubt? Yes.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Right. So I'm giving you now the assignment. Consider the same instructor relation and create a secondary index on the attribute department name. Right? Got it? Use the same instructor relation and create a secondary index on department name. So what we will do? We will create index on department name, meaning our search key is department name for creating the index. Right? As I stated, our secondary index is dense. So what we should do? We should have each and every department name listed in order. Correct? No? So which would be the first department? Yes, please pick up. Which would be the first department? In my secondary index. Yes. Biology. What next?
Computer science.
Comp science. Okay. What next?
Electrical
Fine.
engineering.
Electrical engineering.
Finance.
Finance. Then history.
Tree.
What next? Music.
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 What next?
Physics.
Yes, physics. Anything remain? So we are having now this dense index with every search key value that is appearing in my index. So associated with this search key value, now I'll be having a pointer that will point to the bucket. And in that bucket, I'm having the pointers, those point to the records having the same search key value. So if I'm having this bucket, or if I'm having this bucket, then in this bucket, how many pointers I will have? Yes? For the bucket for biology, how many pointers I will have?
One.
Only 1 point. Because there is only one record having biology as the department name. So in this bucket, I'll be having only one pointer, and that pointer will point to this biology record. What about this computer science bucket? Yes?
3.
3? Yes. So in computer science bucket, I'll be having 3 pointers. So one pointer will point to this, right? Another pointer will point to this, and one more pointer that will point to this, right? And similarly, I'll be having those buckets with pointers, right? So I hope you must have understood this concept of secondary index now. May I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So let us have few important points related to primary and secondary indices. These points. So the very first point is secondary indices have to be dense, that we have seen earlier. Secondary indices many times give us the substantial benefit whenever we search for records having the search key value other than the primary index, right? And the third important point that we are discussing here is whenever a file is modified, every index on the file must be updated. And with this operation, actually, some overhead is associated. So what we mean by that? I was explaining it by making use of, once again, our relation instructor. Suppose we are having the relation instructor, right, which is stored in a sorted order of ID. So obviously my primary index would be based on the attribute ID, and suppose having secondary index on attribute, say department name, and also I am having one more secondary index on the attribute, say salary. So it is possible to have more than one indices for a particular relation, right? So obviously we'll be having a single primary index, but I may have more than one secondary indices on the relation. We may have more than one indices associated with a single relation, right? So if my relation instructor is ordered according to attribute ID, then I'll be having a primary index on attribute ID, and I may have more than one indices, secondary indices on different attributes, say department name, salary, and so on. Right? So always it is possible that we may have or we may create more than one indices. Now, one may think that obviously the goal for indexing is to expedite access to the data that is stored into a database system. So one may think that if I am having many such indices, then obviously it would be possible for me to access the data in less amount of time, right? But this is not true always. And why I'm saying this? Because if I'm having many such indices associated with a single relation, then for every insertion deletion operation, I need to update the respective indices as well, right? And if I want to modify the indices, as I mentioned, the overhead, significant overhead is associated. So it is not always advisable that, say for example, if I am having a relation R with say 20 attributes, then it is not advisable that you should go with an index with every attribute. It is not advisable. Why? Because if I go with 20 different indexes, one index per attribute, then what will happen? Whenever I am updating the data in my relation, then I need to update all those 20 index, right? And this is a time-consuming Please remember, it is not advisable that we should have many number of indices associated with a single relation. Instead, whichever are the attributes, those are most relevant, and whichever are the attributes, those are frequently being used in the queries. We should have indices only for those attributes and not for all the attributes. Have you understood the concept? Yes? Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Please note this. Right? Such kinds of questions you may have in your interviews as well. Right? So whether it is advisable to go with index for every attribute in my relation. Right? So you will be able to answer questions. Okay? Now, sequential scan using primary index is efficient, but a sequential scan using secondary index is expensive. Please remember, sequential scan using primary index is efficient because the order in which my primary index is created and the order in which my file is stored is same. So it is efficient. But a sequential scan using a secondary index is expensive. Because if I try to use sequential scan using secondary index, then it may happen that the records are spread in different blocks and each record access may require a new block from this. It may happen. So sequential scan using secondary index is expensive. Please have a note. Right? So these are important points to be remembered as far as these primary and secondary indices are considered. I hope you must have understood these concepts. So now, let's see with the concept of indices on multiple keys. So far, we have seen or we have created the indices on single attributes. Right? But it is possible that we may have the indices on multiple attributes. So it is possible that we may have the composite search keys. What does this mean? Say for example, if I am having the instructor relation, then I may create the index on ID, but also I may create the index on ID and name together. Right? So I may have the index on single keys, single search keys, say for example ID or say for example department name. So these are the indices on single search keys. But it is possible that we may create the index on composite search keys. So these two attributes, ID and department name, are used together to form the index. Right? So search key is not a single attribute, but it is a list of attributes. Right? So the search key can be represented as a tuple of values of the form A1 up to AN, where the indexed attributes are say capital A1, capital A2 up to capital AN. So if we are having such kinds of composite search keys, then the ordering of the search key values is the lexicographic ordering. That means same as alphabetical ordering of the words. For example, if we are having to having created the index on two attributes. Right? Now, if I have created the index on two attributes, then obviously I'll be having the search key values as the combinations of the values for these two attributes. Say for example, if I am comparing the search keys like A1, A2 and B1, B2. If I want to check whether A1, A2 is less than B1, B2, then I will say that A1, A2 is less than B1, B2 if either A1 is less than B1 or A1 is equal to B1 and A2 is less than B2. Do you agree with me? Yes? To make it clear, let us take one example. Right? Suppose we are having, say, first name and last name, or rather we'll consider last name and then first name. Correct? Now, suppose we are having two search key values for these attributes. Right? Say for example, suppose I am having the last name say Patil Ashwini, right? And say another is Sani Karan. Okay? So these are two search values. So, if you compare these two, so whether Patil Ashwini is less than Sane Karan, how I am going to identify this? Yes? Yes? Whether Patil Ashwini is less than Sane Karan. Yes or no? So this is the same way actually how we order our roll call list according to say last name and first name. Correct? No? So what we do, if I want to check whether this name before this, I will check whether Patil Ashwini is less than Sani Karan. So if I want to compare these names, I will check first word first. So last name will be compared. So whether Patil comes before Sani alphabetically. Yes. Whether Patil comes before Sane. Yes. Please speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, obviously. So why? Because alphabetically Patil is less than Sane. Right? So in this situation, we may say that Patil Ashwini is less than Sane Karan. Is that correct? Instead of having now these two names, if I am having say second name as say Patil Karan, then whether Patil Ashwini is less than Patil Karan? Once again, we will say yes. And the reason is the first word or the first value, that means the last name, is same. So we need to compare the first names. And if we compare first names, then obviously Ashwini is less than Karan. And that is why we may say is less than Patil Karan. Right? So, in case of composite search key indices, this is how actually the comparison is made with respect to the search key values. Right? So, let us consider one example of such kind of index on our text relation in university schema. So if we create a composite search key index on this relation text with 3 attributes, course ID, semester, year. So this is my composite search key index, composite index, right? So if I am creating such kind of index, then it would be useful to find all students who have registered for a particular course in a particular semester and year, right? So if I am having such kinds of queries, right, like I need to find out the student who have registered for a particular course in a particular semester and year, then I may think of, and if such queries are frequent, then I may think of creating such kind of composite index, right, so that I can expedite my work. I hope you must have understood this concept. So let's proceed now with the next concept, multiple key access using multiple single key indices. So right now we had a discussion about an index that is created on composite attributes, that is created on multiple attributes together. Now here it is possible that we are having multiple single key indices, and those can contribute in getting the data from the relations. Say for example, we want to find out all instructors in the finance department with salary equal to 80,000. See what we want? We want to find out all instructors in the finance department with salary equal to 80,000. So I'll be writing a query like select ID from instructor where department name equal to finance and salary equal to 80,000. Right? So this is the appropriate query that will help me extract the required data. Okay? Now, if I am executing this query and if I am having two indices, one for department name and other for salary. Right? So let us assume that we are having two indices. One is for department name and another index is for salary. Right? Then there are several possible strategies for processing this particular query using these indices on single attributes. Right? For example, the first possible way is use index on department name to find records pertaining to finance department. I'll repeat, use index on department name to find records pertaining to finance department, and then test whether salary is 80,000. So this is one possible way how we can make use of these indices. So here I am using only one index, that is department name. I'll be finding out the records belonging to that department, and once I have found out those records from finance department, I'll be testing whether salary is 80,000. If salary is also 80,000, then I'll be extracting those records in my output. So this is one possible strategy. Another strategy would be use index on salary to find the instructors with salary equal to 80,000, and then test whether the department name is finance. So here I'll be making use of the index on salary. I'll not be making use of index on department name, but I'll be making use of index on salary to find out the instructors with salary equal to 80,000. So I'll be getting all those pointers. Those will point to the instructor records having salary equal to 80,000. And then I'll be testing whether the department name of these records is finance. If department name is finance, then that particular record will be extracted in the output. So this is second strategy that I may have. So in both these cases, I have exploited only one index, even though I am having two indices available. So the third strategy would be like use department name index to find pointers to all records pertaining to finance department. Similarly, use index on salary to find out the pointers to all records pertaining to 80,000 salary, right? And if now I am having two sets of pointers, one set of pointer pointing to the records belonging to finance department, and another set of pointers that is pointing to the records of instructors having the salary 80,000. So simply what I can do is I can have the intersection of both these sets, right? So what I will be getting in this intersection, here I am having the pointers, please remember. So whichever are the common pointers in both the sets, those I'll be able to get in my intersection. So if I'm having intersection of these two sets of pointers, I'll be getting only those pointers. Those satisfy both the conditions. And these pointers are nothing but the pointers pointing to the required tuples in my instructor relation. So we may have, in this situation, we may have three different strategies. Those are possible, right? In first two strategies, we are making use of a single index. In the third strategy, we are making use of both the indices on single keys. And we are coming up with the desired result by having the intersection of two sets of pointers. See here, we may go with strategies. Useful that we go with the third strategy because we are exploiting both the indices and directly we are getting the pointers pointing to the record satisfying both the criteria. But sometimes this third strategy is also not useful. And when sometimes it means that using right, and we are having lots of records satisfying the first criteria. We may use the index on salary and we may come up with lots of records that satisfy the second criteria. But if we try to have the intersection of these two, we are having very few records. Those are actually satisfying both these criteria. So we are using the indices on both these attributes, right? And we are coming up with the lots of pointers. Those are satisfying the respective criteria. But whenever we take the intersection of these two, we come up with very few number of records. So if such a data is there, when we are putting efforts in finding out or in using the first index, using the second index, but ultimately we are finding out the intersection, we are coming up with very few records, then the efforts those we have invested in those indices may not be these may not be fruitful, right? So in some situations, whenever it happens that comparatively in the intersection data is very small, very few records, then this third index, the third strategy may also not be usable, right? But if we are having lots of records pertaining to both these criteria, then definitely this kind of strategy will work well. Right? Now, let us see one more example in which we are having a composite search key. So this example was describing extraction of data using multiple single key indices. And now the same example we are extended for having the composite search key on department name and salary together. Right? So once again, we want to extract the information like instructors from finance department and having salary equal to 80,000. Now, instead of using multiple single key indices, if we are having an index on composite search keys like department name salary, then what will happen? The index on combined search key will fetch only those records that satisfy both the conditions. Right? So using separate indices is less efficient. But if we may come up with a composite key index, then we may fetch many records or pointers that satisfy this condition as a whole. Right? And this might be more useful or more efficient. So in this scenario, a index on the composite search key department name and salary may help us expedite our search, right? But this approach of going with combined search key will be useful if I am having the equality conditions here. right? So the first condition is equality, and here the second condition is also equality. Then such approach may work well. If the first condition is equality and the second condition is non-equality, then also this kind of approach of combined search key may work well. But if we are having the condition, say like department name is less than finance and salary is less than 80,000, and if we are making use of the combined search key, then if both the conditions are inequality conditions, then this kind of approach with combined search key cannot handle such queries efficiently, right? Because in such queries, lots of IO operations may be required, right? Because we are not having the equality condition, but we want to extract the range data, right? And in this situation, such kind of combined search keys may not work efficiently. So for equality conditions, we may go with the combined search key indices. But if we are not having the equality conditions, and if we are having rather the range conditions, then we should not go with such kind of combined search key indices. So we are having several other approaches to work with such kinds of queries, range queries, like B+3 index, bitmap index, or R-trees, right? We'll be focusing upon B+3 index and R-trees in our, B+3 index and bitmap index in our discussion. We are not going to focus upon R-trees, but these kinds of indices are also popular in certain cases, right? So I hope you must have understood now the multiple indices on single keys and the index on multiple attributes together.